All right, so you're ready to record your first podcast. Do you have a microphone? Who's going to distribute for you? Do you have a studio? What about the editing? All right, everyone relax because I think I have the answer. Anchor app. Yeah, Anchor. It's free. They distribute Spotify, Apple, many more. There's creation tools that allow you to edit and create your podcast from your phone, your laptop, or your personal computer. And the best thing of all, girl, you can make money no matter how many listeners you have. So the answer is simple. Get Anchor. Anchor FM app. Go find it now. Tell them a seat at the table sent you. All right, y'all. You are all tuned in for an all-new episode of A Seat at the Table podcast. I'm your gracious host, Gail. You can find us, A Seat at the Table pod, all one word, on Instagram. You could also find me on my preferred mode of socializing these days, not on Tinder, you funny fuck. No, on Twitter at Galonda Adams. That is GAILONDAADAMS. And you could also find us, if you knock on the door politely, you may find me also on my private Instagram page, but we're not even going to get into that. So, you guys, first, I don't know what it is, but this week has been heavy, bro. And it's like a weird, ominous kind of heavy. It's not like there's been a lot going on, right? I'm just so happy to be with you today and to just get into it. And maybe we can just lighten the mood a little bit. Maybe we could probably have a laugh here or there. I don't know. I'm not promising you anything, quite frankly. But, so what's going on with you? And, thank you guys for tuning in. I never really get to say thank you at the top of the show, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for supporting this little show that could. There are definitely times where I feel like, why am I even doing this show? Is anyone listening? But you guys are so gracious and kind to always let your support be known. And so for that, I am truly appreciative. I think this is episode 85 at this point. So we are really coming up heavy, coming on strong for episode 100. And I am not even sure what that is going to mean for any of us, but hopefully we will be having this little conversation about episode 100. And it will be somewhat celebratory. I think it will. What has been going on with you this week? This week for me has been, I don't know. Like I said, it's been a weird week. I don't even know what to chalk that up to. Okay. So as you know, I have been interviewing at different places, and, this week I went in for an interview at a place that I have been interviewing with for a while, and they are now considering me for a different role, which is, to me, it's weird in and of itself, but I appreciate the fact of even being one. You know how it goes, right? It's like, if your heart is set out for something, and then someone comes and says, well, in actuality, what we're going to do is do something different. Being in the place of being unplanned or not the one that's setting up the plans for my life it has devastating effects on me. I don't like surprises. At least not. I love romantic surprises. I love thoughtful surprises. I don't like unplanned life surprises. So at any rate, I go in and I start talking to someone who works there, because I think anytime you can interview and get the opportunity to talk to current employees about their experience, I think that that's always a good measure of what your time will be like. If you are able to interview and just kind of see the places, see the faces of people who currently work in that environment, who currently work in that environment. And, if they have a look of, oh my damn, then, already that you're coming in hot and it might be a fucked up situation. But, this is a place where there is not a stitch of Black person to be found anywhere, which every time I feel like I'm running from that, I feel like I am just running deeper into it. And that gave me its own thoughts, which I'll get to in a minute. But so I interview, I talk to this white woman again. And one of the things that I did differently was I'm a girl who loves to change her look. So I will wear my own hair. I'll wear wigs. I'll wear weaves. I'll wear braids. I'll wear whatever. And it isn't because I don't have hair, and it isn't because I don't like the way that I look, but it's because it's my fucking prerogative and I feel like it. And quite frankly, I love makeup. I love the art of makeup. I love all of that good stuff. So I decided that I was going to go in and, not put on my corporate hair and not give this kind of stiff corporate suit looking thing. I was just going to go be myself. So I wore my afro. I wore this is in the fashion and retail realm, this interview. So I wore a pair of black jeans and boots and, just a simple shirt. And I just felt like, fuck it. Like, this is interview number 4. And if you guys are going to take me, you're going to have to take all of me, whatever it is. So I'm not going to just pull up with a wig on the 3rd day at work. You're going to have to see that. So whatever, it's the interview process. You're getting the wig, the afro wig, no doubt. And, it was funny and ironic because this is probably the most welcoming that I've felt at any interview that I've been on in the past couple of weeks. And I don't know if it was because the afro, I don't know if it was because I had a more kind of fuck it mentality and that energy was kind of permeating everything. I don't really know what it is, but I was talking to an employee, older white woman. This isn't the woman that was interviewing me. This was just someone that works in the building. And after my interview, I got in my car, and I am one of those people that loves to decompress in my car. So I got in my car and I kind of was, like, okay, that's done. And the employee that I had been talking to ran out and ran up to my car window. And she was like, how'd it go? And I was like, oh, went well. I think all of them go well, but you know how that goes. And she was like, how old are you? And I just thought to myself, now, first of all, all right. So first of all, because we can have real talk, you and I, we can have real talk. We are friends. We've known each other for a long time. So many white people don't age very well. So gone are the days where I can assume that because someone looks a little bit older, that necessarily translates to a white person being older. They just don't age the same way that Black people age. And here's what I'm also coming to realize. Some of you Black people ain't aging that well either, because you're living real fast and furious in your 20s. And baby, by the time you get to 30, 40, you're going to look washed. You're going to look ridden hard and laid heavy out to dry. All right. So, I always find it, I never have a problem with discussing age because I feel like A, I look great, and B, I don't have anything to be ashamed of. I know what all 40 years of my life, 41, I am dawning on, of my life entails. And so because of that, I am grateful to tell people I'm 41. I know what it's like to be young and want to be older. I know what it's like to be older and wish that you could turn back the hands of time. And at 40, I finally settled into neither do I want to be older or younger. I just want to be. And it's a beautiful place to be. So when someone asks me my age, I don't run from it. And it isn't because of the way I look. It is because of where I am in my life right now. I am just, I'm happy to be here, and I want the fullness and the richness of life and what it has to offer me today. So I told her, I'm 40 years old. And she was like, oh my God, I thought you were younger. She's like, well, I really hope that you get the job. Now, I don't know if she knows this or not, but I would be her boss if I do, in fact, get the job. And the fact that she ran out to ask me, A, how old I was, and to tell me that she really hopes that I got the job, I thought it was super endearing. And, I'm a crier. So immediately I was like getting verklempt, you know what I mean? I was like, oh my God, like, that's so sweet. But nonetheless, it was an odd experience to have. But like I said, I've been having a lot of those odd experiences lately. For instance, yesterday, I saw my ex at the gym, and I was not expecting to see him. Any of you who listen and follow the podcast know that this isn't somebody that I can look on fondly and say, oh, yeah, we had this amazing exchange. We had a decent relationship, a horrible breakup. And I went through a lot of therapy and love and, just kind of learnings to get past whatever it is that we had been through. And so at any rate, he said to me yesterday, or asked me yesterday, would I consider having a baby for him? And I just thought to myself, like, what is happening in this world right now? Like, how could you just, now, mind you, he knows, and I know, that he is currently involved with someone else in a relationship. And it was just a weird, like, I was like, well, why can't you have a baby with the person that you're currently with? And he expressed to me, like, no, I think it would be fantastic if you and I had a baby. And I just thought, that is the weirdest thing that I've ever heard. Like, who just randomly asks someone to have a baby? Although I have to tell you, in some sort of weird way. Now, at first I thought, this is a joke. This has to be a joke. And as I spoke to him longer and longer, and the fact that he was relentless about this, it occurred to me, like, this Negro is not joking. He's serious. He wants me to have a kid with him. And I just thought to myself, first of all, oh, hell no, nigga. And second of all, how odd is it? I would never want to be with someone who wanted to have a baby with someone else just because. Now, listen, I don't know their relationship. I don't know if there is like fertility issues, or I don't know. I have no idea. And quite frankly, I don't even know if it's any of my business. Here's what I do know. The kind of relationship that I'm looking for does not involve someone wanting to have a baby with another party outside of me. Like, that's just weird. But anyways, so on a bright note, praise report, I did, in fact, have an interview, a separate interview with someone that I am super excited about. So that's always great. I also am just kind of, you ever have ebb and flows with your family, specifically your parents? Ebb and flows in terms of, and this definitely goes for people who have siblings, because I think that if you are an only child and your parent or parents only have to worry about their relationship with you, I think it presents a different set of challenges that having siblings and having your parents have to have, different relationships with all of you, equal relationships with all of you, but different relationships is a juggling act that I don't know that many parents can pull off. I think oftentimes parents let the